Hey guys, Ivan here, and in 2 weeks from now we're gonna be watching Legion Sports Fest, and Charles Griffen is doing it and is most likely winning it because he looks like this right now. Now there aren't a lot of heavy hitters at that show. The only guy that I could see beating Charles Griffen would be Guido, but we don't know if he's competing or not. It seems like he's not competing based on his couple of previous posts. He doesn't look like he's in shape. His face doesn't, and you can see some of his body, and you can see that he doesn't look like he's shredded, like he's 2 weeks out, and based on what he's posting, what he's doing on his IG, it seems like he is not gonna be doing this show. Very unfortunately, we were all looking forward to finally seeing this guy in a pro league against the top pros and at the Mr. Olympia stage, but it seems like it's not gonna happen. So as far as Legion Sports, I definitely have Charles Griffen winning this show. Now he is gonna be competing against John Jewett, and John Jewett is having his open debut. He never competed in the open before. I mean, he did the 212 always, and he was good. He did well in 212, but open, I don't know. He might do well. He might not do that well. We don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe we're gonna be surprised, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think Charles is gonna beat him. Charles already proved himself in the open. He's a great bodybuilder, and based on his physique update, especially this one, he probably looks better than ever. Like, his waist looks really small, which was an issue. I mean, it's a side shot. He can probably, pull it in, suck it in, and make it look smaller than it actually is in the front poses. But yeah, it looks very, very small here. And those freaking triceps are looking bigger than the waist. So he's looking very, very freaky in this photo. And check out this video as well. I mean, just look at the size of this freaking back, look at those freaking lats, and look at the graininess, like the conditioning at this point, the vascularity through the back, and the details of the muscle, the striations, separations, everything looks so freaking insane. The problem with Charles Griffen is like the structure, but as far as the muscle, the freak factor, he's got all of that. So right now, he looks like a proper freak, and I think he's gonna win the Legion Sports Fest, yeah. Legion Sports is in 2 weeks from now, but this weekend actually we got a pro show in France, Charles Classic France, and we can talk about who's gonna play second here, because Nathan Diashe is doing it. He's gonna win this one easily unless he gets robbed again, but I don't think so. I think he's gonna win this one. We can talk about the second spot. It's gonna be between Tim Budesheim, Roman Fritz, Theo, and a couple of other guys as well, so it might be competitive after that first spot, but it's gonna be an easy win for Nathan for sure. Regan Grimes is not going to be doing this show. He already got his Mr. Olympia qualification the way he got it. We all know how that went down. And he's not going to be doing France, of course. Why would he? Why would he just lose momentum, lose to Nathan? He doesn't need to risk it. He's going to be doing the Mr. Olympia next. And he posted this physique update. And it actually looks good. It actually looks better. I mean, of course, he didn't improve his physique in 2 weeks. Of course, he can't do that. He can only work on conditioning, basically, like maybe on, hardness, the details, that kind of stuff. The illusion that's gonna make him appear bigger and better on the stage, but he can't grow muscle now. However, his weakest pose in those two shows, Italy and Spain, was his front double bicep. And you could say that his front lat spread also wasn't that good, especially compared to Nathan. However, in this posing video, his front double bicep looks much improved. It looks so much better, actually. Now, there are a couple of things to take into consideration, such as the angle at which this photo was taken, the lighting under this photo was taken, the posing, and the pump. So I'm assuming he's got a bicep pump and a chest pump right here. Probably like the full arm pump and some chest pump. Because his chest looks much fuller now when he lifts his arms up than it did at those two shows. Also, his biceps are looking surprisingly much more peaky than before. Once again, it is the angle, so this photo was taken from a higher angle. The photos on the stage were taken from a lower angle, obviously because they are on stage, they're above the cameras, and when you take a photo from that lower angle, the biceps usually seem less peaky. But if you take a photo from this angle, this makes biceps look bigger. That's one thing. So the second thing is the pump. I already said that. The lighting here is very good, but I think the most important thing here is the posing. I believe he changed posing. I think he lifted his elbows higher, which made his lats pop even more, And I think it made his bicep look bigger because they are above the shoulder point now. Also, the angle of the elbow is shortened. I mean, his fists are closer to his shoulders, to his biceps, which obviously works in his favor. It definitely makes his arms look bigger, his biceps peakier, and overall, it just makes this pose flow so much better for him. And he's doing another very important thing, he's pushing his elbows forward a little bit, which makes his arms look bigger, and also he is not stretching his chest as much, making it less flat, making it look thicker. So I think this one change in the front double bicep really worked a lot for him. And I'm pretty sure it's Regan's coach, Milos Sarcev, who made these changes, and it really worked in his favor once again. Also, there's another thing, if you can notice that, he is doing a slight vacuum in the new photo, and also it works. It really works for him. I mean, it's not really a vacuum, but he is sucking that stomach in, compared to before where he was just, stretching it. And now his waist looks so much smaller, with the stomach sucked in with this sort of a vacuum, which also creates a really good illusion. So I think he changed this pose tremendously. Like, all these minor changes really created an illusion of a much better front double bicep. I think he should speak about it, who made these changes, who helped him with this, because it really made a big change. Again, he can't really make big changes in terms of muscularity. He can bring better conditioning and come in harder and stuff like that, fuller maybe. But if he improves his posing, especially the front double bicep, as he already did, that's gonna help him a lot. What do you guys think? Alright, next up we got a physique update of Brandon Curry, yet another one. Now this one looks probably just the same as every other physique update that Brandon Curry is posting every year before the Mr. Olympia. So at 6 weeks out they posted this crab moose muscular pose, and he looks good. He definitely looks very good. I don't think he lost anything. I mean, for a 41-year-old former Mr. Olympia champion, it's great that he's not losing anything. And I don't think he is, as far as the upper body. As far as the legs, I don't know. I think his legs look even smaller now, especially compared to his upper body. I think his upper body is kind of dwarfing his legs, especially in this pose, because he's pushing his upper body forward, making his legs, look really small. But I mean, that upper body, it's arguably one of the best upper bodies in the world right now. If it was only an upper body contest, he would probably win the show. I think he has probably the best upper body up there. We'll see this year what it's gonna look like, how conditioned he will be. Last year he was blasting full, but I think he spilled over a little bit. He wasn't conditioned enough last year. Hopefully they will fix that mistake. And what I found very interesting about this post was the caption of Brandon Curry's coach. So they say 6 weeks out without anabolic chicken. What the hell does that even mean? It doesn't mean that he's natural. It means that he's not using something, some compound. I'm sure we can all think of the one compound that really can make big changes, and apparently, I mean, based on what they're saying, he is still not using that one at 6 weeks out. I think this is like the last moment where they need to include it. So if he has this kind of fullness without it and hardness, then yeah, he's gonna get really freaky. But is that gonna make his legs bigger and fuller? No, it's not. So, best case scenario, in my opinion, he's gonna be top 5. Best case scenario. I don't think there is a scenario in which he beats Nick Walker, Samson Dauda, Hari Chopin, or Derek Lunsford. I don't see him beating those 4 guys. All those guys have complete physiques. They all have decent legs. Brandon has really weak legs. I know his upper body is looking insane, it's looking really freaky, but without legs that are matching his upper body, I don't see him higher than top 5, and it's most likely going to be out of top 5. Personally, I think Andrew Jack is going to surpass him this year. But we'll see in 6 weeks. I mean, I don't think he can bring better legs. You can see what his legs are looking like. But if his legs are, somewhat decent and he brings new level of conditioning and fullness and hardness in the upper body and the legs, maybe he's gonna surprise us. It's still a possibility, yeah, maybe. The year that Brandon won the Mr. Olympia 2019, the runner-up was William Bonac. By the way, Haida Japan was in third spot. So William Bonac was second. And now, 4 years later, it seems like he's probably retiring. Now, he made his post, he posted a video of himself training some triceps. In the video, he looks, pretty good. Like, he doesn't look like he retired. But the caption here says something very interesting. So let me read this for you guys. He says, "It has been very hard for me to switch from competing at the highest level to a regular life with my family with the intention to focus on life after bodybuilding. Since March, after the Arnold Sports, I have been battling with my thoughts whether to give it a shot and try to qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia or just take a time off and see how things go next year or just retire and find another purpose in my life. I have never felt so good in decades. No more mood swings, no more forcing 6 meals while compromising with less hours of sleep in order to get the last meal in, no more endless hours of cardio till the point you almost passed out, no more traveling with my meals, no more toxic substances, no more forcing in a workout while exhausted, no more breathing heavily while walking the stairs or even talking with people, no more skipping a heartbeat while asleep. Yet I feel incomplete, cause there is something missing. Seeing myself downsizing is not an issue to me, but seeing myself not on stage at this year's Olympia haunts me. Knowing that I still got some in the tank, a burning desire deep inside of me. I love bodybuilding, it's my passion, it's everything I know. It has liberated me from a road of failure, saved me from the street life many young men don't survive from. Everything I own is thanks to bodybuilding and the IB Pro League Federation. I'll be back, that's one thing for sure, but only on my own terms. So there are a couple of things we can take from this. Well, first of all, as we already knew, William Bonac is not doing the 2023 Mr. Olympia. And he decided to take some time off of bodybuilding. He didn't try and qualify for the Mr. Olympia after the Arnold Classic. He decided to take some time off. And he wasn't really doing bodybuilding throughout that time. And apparently he enjoyed that break, but he still has the desire inside of him. He is feeling bad that he is not at the Mr. Olympia this year. And as you can see in this video, he doesn't look downsized. As he says, it's not a problem for him to downsize, but he didn't downsize. He's still very, very massive. Maybe he doesn't have like the same, pop to the muscle. Maybe he's not as full, as round, but he doesn't look any smaller, really. And at the end of the video, he says that he's gonna be back at the Mr. Olympia stage, and that is for sure, as he says, but only on his own terms. What does that mean? I'm not so sure. I would assume that he has some injuries, some issues that don't allow him to do this at 100%, so he probably took some time off to recover, to get completely healthy, to refresh his body and his mind, while taking some time off. And yeah, I'm sure next year we will watch William Bonac on a pro stage and later next year the Mr. Olympia stage as well. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna retire, and once again, he looks good. He doesn't look like he's a retired bodybuilder, that's for sure. Whatever you guys think though, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me and this channel, there is the link down below on which you can click. You can browse the supplements, you can buy whichever one you need, but make sure to use the code IVAN for a 15% discount, and that's how you can support me and this channel. Thank you guys so much, see you soon, all the best, and bye bye.